VA loans get no money down, the best interest rates, and the easiest for you to qualify for. Don't you wish you could invest in real estate with this loan? You actually can, but there are a lot of VA rules and guidelines to navigate. Right now, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know to invest with a VA loan. Here's what I'll cover: the VA loan rules and how much you can borrow, the best real estate investing strategies with this loan, how to use it multiple times, and at the end, I'll show you how to avoid the most expensive mistake military members make with this loan. So here we go. Bottom line up front, you can't just buy a home with a VA loan and make it a rental property. You have to understand the occupancy rule. You can, however, buy a house at your current assignment using your VA benefit, live in it, turn it into a rental property when you move away, and buy a house at your next location with the VA loan, repeating the entire process. Another possibility for real estate investing with a VA loan is buying a 2, 3, or 4-plex and living in one of the units while renting the other units out. When you move on to your next assignment, you'll be able to turn the entire property into a rental property legally. Let's start digging into the details. First, the VA does not lend money. They let normal banks and lenders do that for them. The VA just guarantees those loans, so you can be no money down. Next, we need to understand the occupancy rule so we don't get in trouble trying to invest with these loans. To get a VA loan, you must intend to occupy the property as a personal residence. Most lenders want you to move into the property within 60 days after closing, but exceptions to this rule for longer periods can be worked out with lenders on a case-by-case basis. In some instances, a spouse can move into the property for you if you are overseas or deployed. How much money can you borrow? The way VA loan entitlement amounts are tracked is a little bit confusing. Bear with me. Everybody who qualifies for a VA loan starts off with a full entitlement. You can be sure you have a full entitlement by viewing your Certificate of Eligibility, or COE. It's a document created by the VA showing your entitlement. Link in the info section on how to get your COE. If your COE says this veteran's basic entitlement is $36,000, congratulations, you have a full entitlement. Why is $36,000 a full entitlement? This is because the VA previously used $144,000 as a max loan amount. 25% of $144,000 is $36,000, which is a full entitlement, meaning they'll cover the down payment. This simply means that the VA will guarantee 25% on a loan of $144,000. Under the new rules, which went into effect on January 1st, 2020, borrowers with this full entitlement, $36,000, don't have a limit on how much they can borrow with no down payment. I'll say that again. There is no limit with a full entitlement. The caveat is you have to qualify for the loan size under your lender's credit and income rules. If a lender thinks you'll qualify for a $2 million home, you got it. This house is probably more than $2 million, to be honest. There are 2 ways to have a full entitlement, which means no loan limit. You, 1, haven't ever used your VA loan entitlement before, or 2, you used it, repaid it, sold the property, and now can use it again. We will talk more later about how to get a second or third loan and the limits and rules that apply to those. Now we'll talk about 2 different strategies to invest in real estate with your VA loan: single family and multifamily. There are important differences in the rules for these 2. To invest in single family homes with the VA loan program, you must intend to live in the house as your primary residence when you purchase it. If you need to move sometime in the future for reasons such as new duty location, upsizing, downsizing, retirement, that's okay. It can become a rental property when you move away. Although people often say you have to live in the house for at least a year, this is a guideline and not a VA rule. If you are moving for a valid reason, you're probably fine. The VA doesn't set a minimum credit score either, but most lenders want about a 620 credit score to get a loan. It's possible to have a lower credit score, possibly as low as 500, but you'll have a higher interest rate. If you need this exception, check with several different lenders. Also, while VA loans often have no down payment, it is widely misunderstood as meaning you don't need any money at closing. While it's possible to have sellers pay for closing costs up to 4% of the purchase price, this is not always possible during a strong seller's market. They may insist you pay your part of the closing costs. If we are still in a seller's market when you're listening to this, you may want to have at least 2% of the purchase price available for closing. While the VA loan program was not meant to be used for investment properties, it can be used for purchasing duplexes, triplexes, and 4plexes. You still have to intend on living in one of the units, but are allowed to rent the others out immediately. In certain unique situations, military borrowers, such as a husband or wife, or 2 or more friends, could combine their VA loan entitlement and purchase more than 4 units. This also makes it possible to purchase a business unit. Buying multifamily is a great way to get started in investment real estate, save money on your mortgage, and start receiving rental income. When you need to move for a change in military assignment, you are able to rent out the entire building as investment real estate and buy another home at your new location with a VA loan as long as you have remaining entitlement. We'll get to that later. There are economies of scale in having a multifamily. You have one roof, one building, centralized management. As I mentioned earlier, the VA does not make loans. They just guarantee a portion of the loan so lenders can allow no money down or low money down. Lenders are private companies that aren't tied to the VA or the government, but just use the VA guarantee. Each lender may approach qualifications for multifamily real estate a little bit different. They will be stricter on credit score requirements than they were with a single family home purchase because more money at stake and a requirement to manage the property successfully. You will likely need a minimum credit score of 680 to qualify. Some lenders will not consider future rental income as income towards qualifying for a mortgage unless you have at least 2 years track record as a landlord or are going to use property management. You may need the renters in a lease before closing as well. Typically, 75% of rental payments can be used as income to qualify for the loan. They're going to also want proof of 6 months of full mortgage payments as cash reserves. Sometimes a TSP or 401k can be used for this requirement. Once you move away, you may need to think about having a property management company. My key to success with living overseas with 20 properties was great property managers. Check out my video on it. There's also a free PDF of my tips on finding the best property manager in the info section. I'm going to tell you now how to get a second or even a third VA loan. Remember to stay tuned to the end where I'll talk about the most expensive mistake that most military members make with their VA loan. You may be able to get a second or third VA loan, even if you still have VA loans that you owe money on. You just need a reason for moving and intend on living in the new home. This reason can be permanent change of duty station, retirement, upsizing, downsizing. Talk to a VA lender to confirm your reason is okay. The property that you move out of can become a rental property. If you still have an active VA loan, your new VA loan will be guaranteed, no money down, up to the loan limit for the location that you want to buy in, minus the loan amount you already have. I put the link for the VA loan limits by location in the info section. The standard 2022 VA loan limit for a single family property is $647,200. More expensive cities often have higher limits. The limits are even more with multifamily. Check your county loan limit as it may be higher than the standard. Calculating remaining VA loan entitlement. This is complicated. Hopefully I can simplify it. Let's use my personal situation to calculate how much more money I could borrow, no money down, from the VA. I'm going to use round numbers to make the math a little bit easier to follow. I currently own one property with a VA loan. It is my current primary residence. It's this one. The loan amount is seen on my certificate of eligibility and it's $400,000. I want to buy another property in Montgomery, Alabama. The loan limit in this city this year is $650,000. I can borrow up to $650,000 between my old loan and the new loan. If I stay under this number with both loans, the new loan can also be no money down. Let's do some math. $650,000, my loan limit, minus $400,000, prior loan limit equals $250,000 remaining borrowing power. This is the amount I can borrow without needing a down payment. What if I wanted to buy a house that costs more than that, say $350,000? So more math. $350,000 new loan amount minus $250,000 remaining borrowing power equals $100,000 not covered by VA loan guarantee. If I get a loan, I don't have to cover the entire $100,000, but only 25% of it at closing. The lender wants 25% down payment for any amount over my borrowing power. So $100,000 times 25%, which is 0.25 if you suck at math, is $25,000. So on a $350,000 loan, my down payment is only $25,000 because the VA is still guaranteeing $250,000 of that, and I'm making a down payment on $100,000 of that. Did I do a good job explaining that? Hit the like button if I did, or leave a comment to explain why I suck. Call your lender with your certificate of eligibility in hand, and they can walk you through the calculation, hopefully better than me. They'll even help you get your certificate of eligibility if you don't have it yet. You can probably see how you could buy several investment properties with a VA loan, but there is a catch. Once you've used up your max loan amount between 2 or more loans, you have to pay off the loans and sell the properties to get your VA loan entitlement restored so you can do it all again. To reiterate, if you pay off a loan but you don't sell it, you can't reuse your VA loan benefit yet. An example of this would be your VA loan is paid off, but you still own the property as a rental with no mortgage. Here's what you can do. You can restore your VA loan entitlement, but only one time in your life. It's called a one-time restoration of entitlement. You fill out a VA form 261880 asking for it. and then send it to the VA Regional Loan Center for your state. So you've decided to invest with VA loans. Great. You buy a home at every assignment and turn it into a rental when you move away and retire rich. Right? Wrong. This is a common mistake that I see military members and vets make all the time. They buy houses that won't make good rentals. They don't look at the numbers before they buy. It's a fallacy that you should buy a house at every duty station and then rent it out when you leave. This will not work unless you understand how to calculate expenses and cash flow. Most people don't. Cash flow is not your rent minus your mortgage. It is way more than that. If you want to understand more about avoiding this mistake, watch this video about it. What's the point of buying something no money down if it doesn't make you money? No money down is only helpful if you are cash flowing. Screw appreciation. You may or may not get it. And the next 5 years won't necessarily look like the last 5. Ask me how I know. 2008. That is my complete summary of using the VA loan for investing. I'm rich on money. Want to learn more about actually getting a VA loan? I talk through the entire process from A to Z. I got lots more good videos coming out. Rich on money. Signing off.